Baseball is dead.
Rest.
The Thursday episode. We're almost at the weekend. Everyone's excited. The Rays are back. The Scherzer news is not good. They're still winning baseball games. The A's have lost 100 games. Dallas, did you think we'd be here? Did you think we'd get to this point? How shocked are you?
You know, Jared, sometimes it's seasons like these that you feel like you can prepare for, you can hunker down for, should they come to fruition.
Yeah.
The struggles of a young team absolutely were real this season, but the fruit that is bearing here at the end of the season with these young guys is something that when it hits your lips, leaves you yearning for more. So I can't wait to see what the next season holds, Jared.
Yeah.
I'm already on to 2024.
Yeah.
2023 is going to wrap up here. That's fine. I'm already on to 2024. These guys, they have to play
slot
it out.
machines.
And
yeah,
that's it. 2024.
I mean, at the beginning of the year, who would have thought that on the day that the A's reached their 100th loss, it would also be the day that the Atlanta Braves clinched the NL East for the 6th straight year. Get it to a chorus of boos in Philadelphia. That must have been a very awkward and uncomfortable moment for you, Joe, knowing, you love your Braves, but also you're the Philly, the city of brotherly love wasn't showing much love to the Braves.
Oh yeah. Parents are fighting right now. Right.
Yeah.
Parents are fighting.
Yeah.
And I'm stuck in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to do. I see both sides. Two of my favorite teams.
Yeah.
I think everyone's in the right.
Everyone's in the right.
Everyone's in the right, except the Phillies, who are kind of digging themselves a hole right now by not only getting shit on by the Braves 3 out of 4 games, lose a division, in your house. Then you put on the big screen that congrats to the Braves, kind of like a little bro move. And then to come out against Ronald Acuna at this point in the season, I wouldn't think that's a smart strategy.
What, to hit him with the act like you've been there before?
Yeah, to hit him. Yeah, because this just bulletin board.
Yeah,
and we're rallying together.
Well, I mean, you could also make the argument that the Phillies don't always act like they've been there before. They have some pretty animated celebrations.
You could say that Rhys Hoskins spiked his bat in the Braves' faces last year during the playoffs, and that was a little disrespectful. I held my tongue.
You held your tongue, especially when we asked him about it. He was on this podcast talking about that specific celebration.
Yeah, I confronted him.
Yeah.
And he apologized to me. He did. I scared him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was pretty worried about it. But we are in the process of figuring out what we're going to do for the postseason. And I don't know. It's kind of like rolling the dice a little bit. Like we've had Atlanta circled. We wanted to do Atlanta last year. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Jake. Do we have flights booked to Atlanta?
Yeah, he jinxed the whole fucking thing.
There was a scenario last year, where we would have ended up in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I had a hotel room booked, which I did not approve, in Atlanta for the NLCS.
Yeah,
which didn't happen.
That does bring up an old memory. I believe I tweeted something to the effect of just booked our hotels. Not going to say where, but it was Atlanta. Like we had shit booked for Atlanta. So
can't do that.
Well, you have to do that's the biz, dude. That's the biz. You can't just be like, oh, we're gonna go there for the division series of the NLCS and then book on the fly. That's how you triple the price.
Hey, sometimes you got to pay the price.
I paid the price. I booked a hotel for fucking NLDS in Philadelphia. I clicked the wrong day. I had to pay for fucking the whole night. I wasn't even in Philadelphia.
Oh my God.
And those scumbags at the hotel wouldn't give me a refund. Fuck them.
Are you surprised? It's Philadelphia.
No, it's Philadelphia. It's a bunch of fucking idiots.
I thought you liked Philadelphia people.
No, some of them.
Okay,
but they're dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like you like them, but they're fucking stupid as shit.
Yeah.
Go easy. Go easy.
Joe.
Go easy.
Have you been there? It's a dump, dude.
I
Have you
grew up
been there?
right near there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can come to blows virtually if we need to.
Oh, Southside
over
Philly,
the greater
Jay Hay's
Philadelphia
about to
area.
start.
Yeah.
Wow. People didn't know that about Jay Hay.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Southside Philly. I just want to. I'm not parading around as somebody I'm not. That was not correct. But
Mhm. That was not correct. Yeah.
No.
So all that to say, you'd like to think that we could wait around until the NLCS with this Atlanta Braves team. But if we really want to get Atlanta, I think that we wouldn't be learning from our mistakes if we didn't go to the NLDS. I don't want to go to the NLDS. I want to go to the NLCS. But last year, we tried to line up the Braves with the NLCS, and we didn't get the Braves.
No, and
sometimes that's just a roll of the dice you got to make, Jerry.
And the way it's looking at right now, it's kind of like the Braves and the Phillies are on a collision course for the NLDS, and we saw how that went last year. And as much as I love the Braves, and as much as I want to shit on the Phillies for being, talk shit about Ronald and waking up the angry dogs, that does scare me.
You might want to take that dog to the vet, bro.
Yeah, what was that noise?
That's the Braves, man. Go out and let them off the leash.
Dogs.
The dogs are hungover, man, because we were going after it last night because we won the division for the what year in a row? Sixth. I mean, come on, man.
Domination.
Yeah, and that's nothing.
Domination. What was it at one time? 14?
14. So that's what I'm saying. 6 is nothing.
Division. I mean,
6
shout out
is
Bobby Cox. Shout out Larry.
I think when the Red Sox just won in 16, 17, and 18, it was the first time in franchise history they had won 3 straight. And the Braves just won 6 straight, and they're like, we're not even halfway.
Cute. We're almost halfway there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're almost halfway there remember when we used to just do it all the time?
Yeah, every year. Literally every year. Yeah. If you were to guess,
imagine being a small child born and then living through like you're 0 to 14 years of existence on Earth. Like you're just wearing a new fucking division championship shirt every year from the time you're born. Your onesie is a division championship onesie, and you get to high school. You're like, yeah, sweet. In photo day, I'm wearing another one. It's the 14th.
Another one.
I got 14 of these back on. They're all different. It's crazy.
If you were to guess, Joe, percentage completed of the run that this Atlanta Braves core is on, what would you say? How far into the run are we?
What year is it? It's 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the Braves will be going into each season until 2030, if not a World Series favorite, a top 5 World Series contender every single year until 2030.
For the rest of the decade. That sounds fair. That's very fair. Based on where the contracts are at, the ages of the players, how many guys are locked in for the long haul.
Who's the shortest? Who's got the shortest deal there out of the deals 7 years or less? Who's got the shortest deal there?
I wouldn't count as Ozuna. I think Ozzy is the one who's closest to being up, and
that's for fucking 7 years.
That one they have a club option until 27.
I think Ronnie is through 25. Am I reading that? No, I think that's the wrong deal. That's Ozuna. Okay. Yeah, Olsen's all the way through fucking 27. Michael Harris.
Riley until 33. Michael Harris till 32.
Yeah, I mean, I was joking when I said 7 years or under, but shit, that's real.
Matt Olson, team option, 2030.
I guess Max Fried. Max Fried's a free agent after 24.
Yeah, they never locked him up.
Yeah, Ozuna and Iglesias are guys that are on deals with 4 years left on them, right? Or no, that were 4-year-long deals.
You're talking about Raisel Iglesias? He's through 25.
I know. I was looking at the wrong thing. I went to a spot track.
Ozzy Albies, I believe, is up after 26.
But 26 and 27 team option I'm seeing. So I guess he would be the most You don't. I wouldn't count Orlando Arcia, who's like on a 2-year deal. Ozuna, who's gone after next year. Other than that, all these guys until 2027 at the earliest.
Arcia, I think, is through 26. Spencer Strider is till the end of the decade. Oh my God.
Yeah,
there's no end in
silly.
sight.
Like, there's no reason. There's no reason that they shouldn't be able to. And here's where the long-term sustainability comes in is, and who knows if the front office is still in place by then. You would like to think that if the sustained success is, why wouldn't they be? Unless you just get bored, or unless you have to end up depleting the system to a point where you're like, you know what, we gotta Dombrowski our way out of this. Sorry, we got you a couple rings, but now you got Bat Boys playing second because that's kind of all we got for a while. You're gonna have to figure that out. Then managing the end of the core, I think, is as important as the core performing during their time here. Because on the way out, when it's all said and done, what do you get in return for the end of their careers? I'm sure you're okay with what you're going to be getting right now, because it looks like it's going to be every year for the foreseeable future. You should be a strong contender for a deep postseason run, which we've kind of already talked about. Like, you know, the Freddie Freeman living up to his contract in the first 2 years of that deal just because of his production. If you're getting that from this core and we're making consistent deep postseason runs, then you'd like to think that the return has probably already come back to even anyway. So I just think that's something to consider with this like tight knit core that's going to be here for a hot minute. Managing them on the other end of their prime run is just as important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 2030s. There's a lot of questions going for the 2030s. We're gonna have to clean
Joey,
it up a
they
little
legitimately bit. Like they could legitimately have children that are viable draft options by then, which will like bring them all.
I mean, Matt Olson has a 2030 option. There's that.
There you go. Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, see, always hanging out in the chop house. 2030.
Mm-hmm.
See you there.
Acuna is through 28. He's got 2 club options for 27 and 28.
I think those club options are the first time he makes like $10 million a year, right?
Yeah. He goes, it's what year is it? 23. So he's making 17 million annually. That's it. That's the most that he'll fucking make through his prime. Last year he made 15. The year before that he made 5. This year he makes 17. 24 he makes 17. 25 he makes 17. 26 he makes 17. Then he has a $17 million club option for 27 with a $10 million buyout. And then in 28, he has a $17 million club option. He will never make more than $17 million through his fucking prime years. And he's one of the best players in baseball. Top 3 player in baseball.
Not that
a lot of endorsements.
I mean, it might end up, not that this is something to celebrate necessarily, but it might end up being like the most team-friendly contract maybe in
of
baseball.
all time.
Ever?
Yeah, like in the free agency era or something like that.
Yeah.
When you put it like this, he will be making less and less and less than the qualifying offer each year as it goes up and up and up.
Yeah.
So like, as he would be sought after to make probably triple the qualifying offer, or at least double the qualifying offer annually, he will be making less than the qualifying offer for the rest of his life.
The Braves have to be like, you know what? We're gonna give you like a $10 million bonus every year. You have to. He's gonna kill himself. Like,
they got to give him the Salvi treatment, the Salvador Perez thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Which was what?
Yeah.
His initial contract was like so exploitative and like low. It was like 7 years for like 8.5 million or something like that. And they gave him an extension that I think everybody was on the same page with, was like 50%.
Okay.
This is what you deserve. And 50% like, you're the face of our franchise and we ripped you off the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
I think the second deal was like 4 and 80 or something like that. So it was more in line, I think, with market.
Yeah. Remember the day that Acuna signed that deal and Dallas like went to bat defending it, being like, "This is life-changing money for his family. God damn it!"
Well, no. There's still no. I was defending the decision making. I was not defending the deal in terms of business.
It was a whole fucking when the narrative should have been, holy shit, why did he sign for that number? Like, we knew what was the exact date? Was it 2020?
No,
I'll tell you right now.
2019.
I'll tell you right now.
Like, I'm not going to pretend to know how Ronald Acuna grew up, but I'm telling you right now, there's not a single one of you that if you were handed $10 million a year over the next 10 years to do what it is you love, and for whatever reason that was perceived to be low, there's a solid chance you're taking that. I don't have
April 2nd, 2019.
I don't have any one of you shaking that off. Sorry, I just don't.
Maybe I'm. If I knew if I was Ronald Acuna Jr. and I knew that I was that good, it's like all I got to do is hang in for play hardball for a little bit. Like Austin Riley has double the money. It's Austin Riley. It's the same organization. Austin Riley signed for 10 years, $212 million. He signed through 2033.
Yeah, well, put aside whether it's a good deal or not for Acuna. I can't be convinced that you can't look across the dugout and see a guy on a contract twice as valuable as yours who is half the player and not feel something as a human being.
Yes.
You know what I was going to say, Jay? Hey? At no point in time, like if I'm Austin Riley, I almost feel bad.
Yes.
Inviting Ronald Acuna Jr.
I'm paying for every meal
we
go out.
You want to go to,
and this is why your team's off standings, because this is the kind of thought.
Yeah, we're talking about trying to save nickels and dimes.
I mean, this is the thought, bro. You guys are selfish as fuck. I would never be able to play with a guy making more money than me if I know that I'm better than him. Like, you don't give a fuck about the team, dude?
I did not say I could never play with him. I said you got to feel something. And to deny that he feels something is crazy.
He feels like a champion, dude.
You
feels hungover from winning 6 straight fucking division titles and a World Series and an MVP this year and Rookie of the Year and All-Star 5 years. He was there.
No, he wasn't even there for the World Series. So he's even doubly bitter.
Yeah. There's a solid chance Joseph is pro-labor. Pro-child labor, I mean.
Yeah, it's called...
Yeah, I believe that.
I think the last time I missed because of my daughter, Joey told her to get a job.
Amen.
Yeah. He'll be happy with it. He likes his contract, and he's enjoying life, and he loves his role as an Atlanta Brave. Yep. And if he doesn't, well,
maybe you don't follow him on Instagram. You see him roll around in Lamborghinis once a week, and maybe we have different perspectives. But I know this guy like a brother, and I know he's happy with his contract. And another thing is, he signed that contract early. He's going to be a free agent in like 2039, and he's going to be like 32 years old. He's going to make $300 million after this. He's going to get a Freddie Freeman deal after this.
Well,
it's going to be with the Braves.
If the Padres are around, he will.
So don't even say that shit.
Yeah. Because they're club options. So he's locked in until 2028. Man, that's too bad. By the way, it was the largest contract. This is how they got him. It was the largest contract ever for a player under club control with less than 1 year of Major League service time.
There you go. Hindsight's 2020, guys. He had how many at-bats? How many games had he played at that point?
I don't know. But that must mean that the Tatis contract eclipsed that. Because I don't think Tatis even had a full year service time at that point when he signed for fucking $340 million.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look what he got. Who would you rather be right now? You'd rather be Acuna under his contract with his team or Tatis with his team?
Tatis.
And I think that's a good... Okay, it's a good question. All right, okay. Yeah. Well, I know. Me, a guy like me, I'd rather be on a team with my boys and we all get along and not like Tatis and they're all beef and hate each other. Their team sucks. I'd rather be Acuna on the Braves.
I'd rather be 3 times as rich in a better city with a bunch of dickheads. That's what I'd rather be.
3.5 times as rich. Go home to my castle with my moat with alligators in there, and then fucking live in San Diego and have Don Orsillo call my baseball games.
Oh, I forgot about
First of
Orsillo.
all,
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Acuna is also pretty fucking rich. Probably has a castle. Probably has alligators. Even Ozzy on a lower deal has a lot of fish, a lot of exotic animals.
Acuna's probably got like a nice condo.
Argument.
Yeah, he's got a nice condo.
Joe, I like how we go from Ronald Acuna having a moat as well to Ozzy Albies, who has a couple saltwater tanks in his house. You know, like they're sizable. He's got fish too.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. Their money can go a long way, guys, if you put it where it needs to be. All right. Ozzy has a way worse deal, and he still has a lot of fish.
That's right.
Yeah, he's got tanks that he can fit in. I've seen
right.
it.
Yeah, you're making a lot of good points, Joe.
And listen, Tatis is signed for like 30 years, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Acuna is going to get off this deal, and he's going to sign another massive deal. So don't feel too bad for him.
Mm-hmm.
With a couple rings, an MVP, multiple MVPs.
Ozzy Albies is literally making peanuts. He's making $7 million, and he'll never make more than that. $7 million this year, $7 million next year, $7 million in 25, and a $7 million club option in 26 with a $4 million buyout. And he has a $7 million club option in 27 with no buyout. Oh, man, some of these deals.
Well, they're probably getting a lot of Brave stocks. I mean, that's a stock now, and that shit's going to the moon. They're probably going to get rich off the stocks.
You're talking about like Liberty, the Liberty company stock?
Yeah, they'll probably get good deals on the stock prices and stuff. And then, stocks.
Listen, if they have stock options folded into these contracts that haven't been reported, then maybe you're right.
Yeah. Then that's nice.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
That would be like the Braves to pay basically in like company script. Yeah.
That's literally my theory. It's like, how the Braves get away with paying all these players nothing?
So we kind of print our own money around here, and this is what...
Can use it at the team store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Harris is signed through 2032. 8 years, $72 million. He won't make north of $9 million until 2028.
I mean, that Spencer Strider deal might end up being like, other than Acuna, that might end up being the real gem for the Braves.
Yeah.
I mean, 675. That's like nothing.
Sean Murphy, 6 years, 73. It's something. Like,
all right, enough of the Braves contract situation.
Well, I mean, it's crazy. Spencer Strider, 6 years, 75. He signed through 2029 with a club option. Wow. At the time of the signing, it was the highest average annual value for a player with 1+ year of service time. Good for the Braves. Good for the Braves. My parlay got boned last night because Ryan Mountcastle came out after one plate appearance. But football is back in full swing with another week of epic games, and who's got you covered for all the action? Every single one of those games, it's the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 on football and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Nobody's missing out on the action this season. All DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. Get in on the NFL Week 2 action with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app right now. Use the promo code Jared, Jared, to sign up. New customers can bet just $5 and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets only at the DraftKings Sportsbook using the promo code Jared. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. In West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In partnership with Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. All games regulated by the West Virginia Lottery. Please play responsibly. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
Okay, Max Scherzer, I think it was like the tail end of the Wednesday podcast where we knew that Max Scherzer was hurt. He was going to go get it looked at, and then maybe, I don't know, an hour after the episode came out, we find out The tricep injury is pretty much worst case scenario. He's done for the year and potentially done for the postseason. Like he's not even going to.
Well, yeah, and
that's not good.
Have they? So they're saying tricep.
Yeah.
I thought this was the teres. The teres major. Isn't that what I thought this was? Where did I hear that?
Right-hander Max Scherzer is expected to miss the remainder of the regular season with a strained teres major, a muscle that connects the scapula to the humerus. Scherzer is, Texas GM Chris Young told reporters, quote, unlikely to pitch in the playoffs. Brutal news for the Rangers. This is from Jeff Passan.
So I have torn my teres major. I have torn my teres minor. That was all part of like the whole fucking blowout. Just toast.
Where is that, by the way?
That's in the back. It's back here.
Oh.
That's back here. You got a teres major, which is like is the lower one, and the minor up a little higher. But those are like from teres major does a lot of the lift, or not a lot of the lifting, helps lift. So it's like a levator. It helps lift the scap and contract the scap, like the fucking say. Yeah, that's I mean, you could probably, you feel the residuals there. I mean, the connecting to the head of the humerus. So if you think in the back of your arm right here, back of your shoulder, head of the humerus is up here. So you probably feel some pain in the back of the arm right here. Like it feels tight. You can't feel like when you start to throw, you try to get what we call layback, try to get externally rotated. You want to get externally. It's not a good example because I can't fucking rotate my arm. But you're trying to get it back as far as possible, and then you're able to generate whip. If you can't do that, you can't even lift it. I mean, you can't get the car going. You can't move it. So, I mean, depending on the grade of the strain, because remember, when you hear the word strain, that's a tear. That's a tear. Grade 1, minor, small, maybe like fraying, if you will. Grade 2, well, there's some separation there. Grade 3 or worse, like
shit's off the bone.
Shit snap.
Yeah.
Should have snapped. Yeah.
Did they say what grade it was? I didn't see that.
Low grade.
Low grade.
Low grade. So like I still boo-boo. Like just depending on I don't think it's good.
Here's my take. Max Scherzer not pitching in the playoffs for the Rangers is a good thing. Tell me I'm wrong. Spot the lie.
Well,
why is that?
I think you're wrong. Good. I'm not.
I mean, no Max Scherzer. Are we sure that the Rangers get to the postseason?
Yes.
Let me ask a necessary follow-up then. If Max Scherzer pitching for the Rangers is a good thing, why did they acquire him?
That's not. I didn't fucking tell him to do that.
You didn't. That's right.
Yeah, I didn't.
All right.
I advised
tough
against
to dispute that. Yeah.
I mean, how many more starts was Max Scherzer going to make
this season?
In the regular season,
what, like 2, 3?
Okay, so Texas sits right now. What, a game? They got a game up in the second spot of the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
So Max Scherzer makes those 3 starts, is successful in those 3 starts. That matters. The Texas Rangers finish 1 game out of the 3-team wild card pool. It didn't matter. It was better for the Rangers.
Honestly, I think Jared kind of might have a good point. Because, like, in the playoff, like, hey, and, we can never prove this, but in the playoffs, it can come down to 1 game and 1 player having a terrible start. And as much as we love Max Scherzer, Hall of Fame player, like, been the best pitcher of his generation, one of them, lately in the playoffs and in the season, since the World Series and he won in 2019, every year it's been a sharp, deep decline in the end of the season. Injuries, nagging. He got blown up in the playoffs last year and down the stretch against the Braves in the big games. It's some guy. He hasn't been very reliable at the end of the season, and it's almost better if he's not going to pitch than getting blown up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we assume that he sucks all the time, then yes, it's better that he doesn't pitch. But that can't be the assumption. And looking at the Rangers rotation, we've all had the same comment the whole season that these guys are not good enough to win. Hence the acquisition of Max Scherzer. So
respect Dane Dunning. Respect Dane Dunning.
Dane Dunning's been terrible lately.
Respect him though.
Well, I don't disrespect him. I don't have a lack of respect, but his numbers are what they are. And if Dane Dunning's pitching in the postseason for them, that's a big fucking problem.
I think if Dane Dunning didn't have rec specs, he'd get a lot more respect, and we look at him as a more dominant presence.
I couldn't find the strike zone if he didn't wear them, though.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying
there's a good chance he's wearing them for a reason, Joe. I don't know if that's like a Dane Dunning fashion forward thought there. I think that's Dane Dunning going, I can't fucking see when I wake up in the morning, so I'm gonna need to throw these Coke bottles on so I can.
I'm just saying, like, let's not shit on him too much, because I think if he didn't have the glasses, we think he'd be better. I think his reputation would be better. I think he's better than people think. Jay Hayes, right? He struggled lately. Is he better than Max Scherzer? No, but I don't know. Maybe right now he is.
Maybe he could be. Yeah.
Like there's one name in that rotation or on this staff that you take if all things are being equal in terms of health, that you would take over Max Scherzer.
Martin Perez.
I would say Evolve.
Okay. But also Martin Perez.
I don't know. Probably Max Scherzer.
No love for John Gray.
No love for John Gray. No love for Heaney.
No love for Jordan Montgomery. You want to talk trade deadline?
John Gray's made one career postseason start, and he allowed 7 hits and 4 runs and 1 1/3 innings. No love.
That was a prank. That was obviously to dupe people into thinking that he couldn't get it done.
6 years later, the loop is coming around.
He's ready for the. Yeah, that was just a
slow played him.
That was just a
different team, different league.
Story. Yeah.
Long time.
That was just the hero.
He wanted people like you to think he couldn't do it.
The Rangers, dude, all their starting pitchers are like, none of them are aces. None of them are really dominant, other than Evaldi, who's been hurt. But like, they're all, you read their name and you kind of go, I don't know. He might pitch 7 scoreless innings right now. They give you enough hope. Like a guy like John Gray, he's had good stretches. Dunning.
Andrew, put some respect on Andrew Heaney's name.
Quality start.
Exactly. Here. So you've got like John Gray sucks. All right. Dane Dunning, not good. Martin Perez has not been good. They've had 9 guys make at least 1 start since July. And Max Scherzer, the best starter of the bunch. He's got a 320. Then it's Nathan Evaldi, 327. That's only 5 starts because of the injury. Jordan Montgomery's made 8 starts, and he has a 3.59. And Andrew Heaney has appeared in 13 games. 12 of those have been starts, and he has a 3.72. So it's not the end of the world. Like losing Max Scherzer, let's just say Max Scherzer, it falls into the category of very unlikely he doesn't pitch in the postseason. Okay. Does that sink the Texas Rangers ship?
I asked the question, like, so as of right now, what does that rotation look like? Heaney, Gray, Dunning, Perez, Montgomery?
No, Nate Montgomery, fucking Gray or Dunning, whatever. I don't know who. I would put Heaney. Third.
Heaney's in the Heaney came out of the bullpen the other day.
Yeah, but he's mostly started. He's come out of the bullpen once. He's made 12. He's appeared 13 times since July 1st. 1 out of the bullpen, 12 starts.
Isn't this hemming and hawing making the point, though? That they're kind of a mess?
That we can't figure out who the third starter is? You know who the first 2 guys are.
Okay, but like, if we're going to have serious concerns about how Max Scherzer was going to perform over the remainder of the season, then we need to have those same concerns about Evaldi until he shows otherwise.
Yeah, he's X factor.
Because he is the difference maker. Yeah. You're dead right about that. And he is
if you
the
don't
only
have
guy.
Evaldi at his best, you're fucked.
Yeah, no, totally.
That's why I said
he's not at his best right now.
Right, and
he's not at his worst either.
Well, his worst would be when he wasn't pitching, I guess. But like, was his first start back?
You guys just hate the Texas Rangers, and I don't know why.
When we posed the question, I stuck with the Rangers, but that doesn't mean that Scherzer going down isn't a significant blow.
Yeah.
Did you see this fucking
I gotta
this
take
Reddit thread?
Max Scherzer's arm falling off is the best thing that could have happened for him and his team.
There's a motherfucker
That's a take.
on the Baseball is Dead Reddit page said talking about the Rangers talking the podcast saying that we're flip flopping. I haven't flip flopped at all. I've been going down with the ship. I said they were going to win the division, and when things look tough, I was like, all right, I'm still going to ride it out. And people are like, oh yeah, you're an idiot. How are your Rangers now? Season's not over. They've just won 5 straight. They've won 5 straight. They're a game out of first place.
Yeah.
I haven't given up on the Rangers. I have been pretty firm in my stance on the Texas Rangers.
It's hard not to flip-flop on this team when they're like dominate the whole year, then go on a terrible stretch at the worst time possible, then turn around after losing Adolis, after Evaldi goes down, Scherzer's down, and then they win 5 fucking games in a row, 3 of them against the team they're competing against. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know what to think of the Rangers team. Anything could fucking happen. I don't know.
I'll tell you what to think of this fucking team. It's easy.
Cowboy.
It's fucking easy, dude.
Cowboy.
You think the Texas Rangers? You ever seen a cowboy get punched in the mouth and fall down? No. Cowboy gets punched in the face and maybe he falls back just a little bit. But if he feels overmatched like the Texas Rangers do right now, well, guess what, boy? I'm going to reach for that pistol. I'm going to blow your fucking head off. That's what they're going to do. They got their backs up against the wall. They got a spittoon full up of spit. And they're going to go out there and do what they do best, and that's overcome adversity. Everyone knows that. Max Scherzer, thanks for your contributions. Thanks for getting us to where we need to be. But it's next man up. That's the cowboy lifestyle, boy. Fall off your horse, get back up. Cowboy up. It's not about how many times you fall down. It's about how many times you get back up, bro. That's it. We're going to get back up again real soon. Nathan Evaldi, Jordan Montgomery, John Gray, Dane Dunning. Let's go. Cowboy up.
Bro.
What are you laughing at, Dallas?
What? The spectrum of white trash. How you started out like, you started out like city liver. Everything was great, but then at the end of it, it was white trash. And then I thought I heard a bro in there. Cowboy up, bro. Oh. I love it.
Yeah, too many people are giving up on the Rangers.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe
And,
if they have to play a team from Canada, they take that personally because they're not going to lose to a bunch of fucking liberal fucking 51st state piece of shit Canadians.
Wow.
And they'll sweep them.
Yeah, that's true.
Joe coming after Philadelphians, coming after Canadians.
Yeah.
That's what the Rangers look at it. I love Canada.
Oh.
Yeah. Also,
Do you?
I love Canada, yeah.
He loves Canada.
I'm going to be talking to some folks from Canada a little later today, so I do love Canada.
Yeah. Also, all this Max Scherzer talk, to Joe's point, Adolis Garcia's coming back, Josh Young's coming back. Like, reinforcements are coming. It just may not be in the form of a starting pitcher that you traded one of your top prospects for, which is fine.
Yeah. Well,
you're better off without him anyway.
Just how fine that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry about it. I can't wait to be at the Texas Rangers World Series parade. It's gonna be great.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah,
nothing to see.
I'm gonna be drinking Blue Moons while I'm there too, because the playoffs are just around the corner. It's time to help your team out by sticking to your lucky rituals, like the ritual of enjoying an ice cold Blue Moon while the game is on. Blue Moon was born in a ballpark, first brewed at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. Make it your one-of-a-kind baseball tradition, whether you're at the park or watching from home. I'll be watching from home this weekend, watching some Texas Rangers baseball, sucking down some Blue Moons, ice cold Blue Moons while I'm watching my Texas Rangers baseball. We actually have a cowboy hat. I'm going to probably start wearing that on the podcast now. with its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander. Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale is a one-of-a-kind beer that's made right. It's carefully crafted and full-flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Blue Moon was brewed by baseball to give you a dose of nostalgia and get you excited for the new season. Why strike out with the same old beer when you can get something that's one-of-a-kind? Its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, and iconic orange slice ritual guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience perfect for spring weather, fall weather as well. Best served with its signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful bright color. A beer this good only comes around once in a blue moon, but you can enjoy it all season long. Brighten up your baseball traditions with Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale. It's a one-of-a-kind every time. Check out shop.bluemoonbrewingcompany.com for baseball merch and visit get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket to find Blue Moon delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket. Blue Moon, made brighter, celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado Ale.
Moon me, Jake.
Oh, people are pissed that you don't ask Jake for weather updates anymore.
Well, because look at where Jake's at. I got no insight. Jake's playing in his fucking childhood playroom now. So I mean, he's strapped to some radiator down there, living in I don't know what's going on there. I don't know maybe Jake hasn't seen the fucking sunshine in 3 days, Jared. We don't know.
Jake, is that true?
No, I mean, just because I'm in a basement doesn't mean there's not still weather outside.
That's true.
That's fair. It is still weathering outside. That's a fair point. You know what? That's on me. That's going to change for the remainder of the year because the leaves are turning, the season's changing, the postseason's coming. So it's postseason season. We will have weather updates for the postseason season.
Okay.
Apologies. That's
on you.
That's on me.
Okay.
100%. 100%.
We all
see, Joseph, that's called accountability.
I taught you that.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
The Tampa Bay Rays, no one's talking about them, so we're going to talk about them. It was a team that started off harder than a pistol in Dallas, Texas. Then they lost a lot of games. Then they experienced a lot of adversity in the form of injuries and other things. But they're a lock to get into the postseason. They are currently 2 games back of the first place Baltimore Orioles. And this weekend, we will see a showdown between these two teams. And it starts tonight. In Baltimore. That does matter. The series is in Baltimore, but we will see the Orioles and the Rays go toe-to-toe. It's fucking Apple TV on Friday night, by the way, if you're interested in following this series.
Tonight's Thursday, is it not?
Huh?
Isn't it today Thursday?
Yeah, I said it's on Apple TV on Friday.
I know, but you saying because we have an off day today. So you saying that you didn't, you're just like Apple TV Friday. And I was like, hold on, is today Friday? Because if today's Friday, I got to go to work. I didn't think I had to go to work. This has thrown me off severely.
No.
So I was just trying to make sure that my life was in order.
Also, am I crazy? Why are there so many? Why? No, never mind. Who's Sunday Night Baseball? Are they not Sunday Night Baseball? Fucking Cubs D-backs is Sunday Night Baseball?
God. Did you guys see who was Sunday Night Baseball last week?
No.
It was terrible. I forgot who was playing. I don't even remember. But I remember thinking, who the fuck is going to watch this? I didn't.
Wow.
No, I mean, we're usually recording for Sunday Night Baseball, so I never even really get to watch it.
Wait, why is D-backs Cubs bad, though?
That's not bad.
Who gives a fuck?
Because, dude, they're both...
I mean, they're both cooking in the wild card. What are we talking about?
They're cooking.
You've got Rays O's
comparatively
for the AL East.
There are 2 series there are 3 total series that are happening this weekend that you could argue should be on Sunday Night Baseball. Rays O's, Cubs D-backs, and Dodgers Mariners. That's it. Those are the only series where both teams really have something at stake.
And if you were to power rank the significance of these series, would you not have Orioles Rays number 1?
Oh yeah,
probably 1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But ratings. That's
why I'm going to give you a good guess how the Rays draw on Sunday Night Baseball and the desirability of putting them on.
Do you think the D-backs move the needle?
No, but I know the Cubs do, brother. I know the Cubs
do. Okay.
Yep.
That's fair.
Sure do.
I'm not Orioles, Rays, power rank number 1. But Cubs, D-backs, man, like this might be the last stand for the D-backs.
Yeah. What's their situation looking like coming into today? Let's see.
They got a 34% chance to win, to get into the playoffs. Cubs are at just under 78%.
Tonight's pitching matchup for the Orioles and Rays game is probably the best pitching matchup of the series, if not
Bradish.
Yeah, Bradish and Savali, I believe.
Yeah. The NL wild card, you've got the Reds and D-backs are tied for that third wild card spot, and the Cubs are 2 up on Cincinnati and Arizona.
That's what I'm saying. This series could be a huge shift one way or another for Cubs D-backs if there's like a 3-game sweep or something.
The Giants are hanging around. They're hanging around. They're half game back. The Marlins, even after losing Sandy and Soler, they're half game back. That is quite the logjam in the NL wildcard picture. Jesus Christ. But anyways, this is supposed to be about the Tampa Bay Rays, who are winners of 27 of their last 40 games. That is the 4th best record in Major League Baseball. Only the Dodgers, Orioles, and Braves have been better, which is kind of problematic when you are chasing the Baltimore Orioles, and you've had this resurgence of sorts over the last 40 games or so. But the team that you are trying to chase down, you are better than 26 other teams in Major League Baseball. But one of the 3 teams you're not better than is the team that you're trying to chase for first place in the American League East. But the fortunate thing is that they have the opportunity right there in front of them, as Aaron Boone would say. It's right there in front of us. The Tampa Bay Rays have a 4-game series in Baltimore this weekend and the chance to overtake them. They control their own destiny. What do we think about the Tampa Bay Rays' chances to leave Baltimore with a piece of that ass?
I mean, I think 2 out of the 4 pitching matchups are I don't know if it's necessarily favored, but I mean, 2 out of the 4 pitching matchups are, I think, Baltimore favored.
So here are the pitching matchups for the people at home that maybe don't follow as closely. Aaron Savale versus Kyle Bradish is tonight, Thursday. Friday night, you're going to get Zach Eflin versus Jack Flaherty. Saturday, you're going to get the sex god Tyler Glasnow versus Grayson Rodriguez. And then on Sunday, is it Littell or Little? It's Littell. Zach Littell versus Dean the Cream Machine Creamer.
That's right. Kramer, the 209er.
The Cream Machine.
From Stockton.
Yeah. 209. Those are
wouldn't
some
surprise
pretty good
me if the Rays
matchups.
get the first 3.
The first 3.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
If they get 3, they're tied.
I like their chances on Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, I don't hate their chances tonight either. I mean, Savali's been pitching well for them.
I think that this is a series split. I know that that's like a vanilla take, but I think it's an Oreo cookie vanilla split. It's I think the opener goes to Baltimore. I think the finale goes to Baltimore, and I think Friday, Saturday goes to Tampa.
Glasnow, Grayson Rodriguez is the real sexy matchup to watch, right?
Yes.
Well, that's the firepower. That's just a bunch of fucking Oyukins getting thrown out there all day long.
Shout out to Zach Eflin, by the way, who I know everybody knows he's having a good season, but the consistency has been remarkable. At no point this year, his ERA is 3.53 right now. At no point during the season has it been any higher than 3.67. Like it's just not at the beginning of the year, not at any point. He's just been a metronome of performance for them. And I'm not sure I still, as much as we're giving credit to the Rays right now, and deservedly so, because a month ago it felt like they were kind of flailing a little bit. I'm not sure I feel really any better about their ability to win like many consecutive postseason series in a row with the pitching the way that it is. But, I certainly think they're as well equipped to win postseason series on that side of the ball, if not more so than the Orioles at this point.
The Rays make no sense because still, even after all these injuries since August, they had the fourth best pitching staff, according to WAR, at least since August. That's with everyone down.
Well, that right there. So that's a beautiful segue to my question. What do you think? I mean, what do you think the season looks like for them if they still have McClanahan, if they still have Springs?
I mean, I think we're talking about them as World Series favorites or co-favorites along with the Braves if they still had their actual pitching staff intact. Because I think it's clear they're the best team in the AL with that roster. Not that it matters right now, but that's where they would be. Because they're almost the best team in the AL without that roster. Yeah, it's tough. Pitching's tough, man. Let me tell you something about it, Dallas, if you don't know.
I'm just... Jay, it is so mad. One, because I love Mac. You guys know I love me some Shane McClanahan. Love that dude. He's a great dude. I love his I love his shit on the mound. I love everything about the way the dude attacks. It sucks to think that they're going to that they could potentially miss out on what was absolutely going to be a deep run with those two dudes.
The fact that they Shane McClanahan, Drew Rasmussen, and Jeffrey Springs, imagine that. Like they're still going to come close to the neighborhood of 100 games. What do they need? They're at 90 wins, right?
Yeah, they need to go 10-5, I think, from here on out.
Let's just say they win 97 games. They're doing that in a year where they lost 4/5 of their intended rotation. Roughly.
Still.
Yeah. Other teams dealing with that might not be in the same position.
They still rank number 1 in ERA for starting pitchers the whole year. And then since August, when they've lost everybody, they're still number 1.
I mean, but there's probably some that's probably skewed a bit. Just how many times are they using guys to open games?
That's what I'm kind of thinking.
You gotta remember that too. I don't know off the top of my head where they're at in terms of openers. I mean, you could just, I guess, quickly go to their stat page, see how many guys have started games.
I can tell you. I'll run some numbers right now. Like I can see you I can do it by game started. I can narrow it down by game started, and then I can select pitchers that average more than 2 innings per start. Like that would get rid of the openers, and I can tell you what the ERA is.
Well, even then, if it's a 3-inning outing, or even a 4-inning outing, like that's my whole point is starting pitching, the way it's viewed, the way it's defined, and the way it's used are all different. They're all different because a starting pitcher to one team could mean this guy just goes 3 or 4 for us on his start days. He starts the game, but he only goes 3 or 4 for us. We know that every time. Like we're not into going 5 or 6 with him. That's just not what we do. And this guy, when we start him, he's a 1 to 2 inning guy. We don't ever try to extend him beyond that. And then we got a guy by the name of Clayton Kershaw, who when he starts games, he will go as long as he can. Garrett Cole. He starts. He's going to start the game, and he's done at 100 and whatever the fuck. So those are all like different roles. So it I don't want to get too heavy into this, but it's just it's a little intricacy to consider.
So they've got 16 pitchers have made at least one start this year. Because even someone like Taj Bradley is averaging 4 2/3 innings per start. So that's not an opener. So you have 10 guys averaging 4 2/3 per start. So that's probably the cutoff for an opener, because then after that, it's like 3 1/3, 2 innings, 2 innings, 2 innings, 1 inning. So I'll give you what the numbers are from their actual guys that have actually started this year. And that includes a lot of the graveyard guys that are no longer here. So you're going to get 10 guys.
Well, that helps because Jeffrey Springs had like a fucking 0.4 ERA or whatever through his first 3-4 starts or whatever he made.
Yeah. Okay. So of guys that are actual starters on the Tampa Bay Rays, the combined ERA is 3.83. The FIP is 3.47. The WHIP is 1.16, and the strikeouts per 9 is 9.75.
Yeah, that's
so the 3.83 ERA would still be tops.
That's tops. I don't think they're using openers. I'm looking at the game logs and I don't see any openers being used. They're throwing out these new guys.
I mean, Jalen Beeks is open this year. He's made 8 starts, averaging 2 innings per start, and has a 2.76 ERA. That's an opener.
Yeah, like I said, you can. I mean, again, opener. What does opener mean to you?
Starting the game with no intentions of finishing it and passing it off to actual longman / starter once the matchup becomes favorable enough.
So then, I can ask you, what's that line of demarcation? But I think as it relates to it's very gray, very vague every time.
But as it relates to the current Rays, I actually don't think it's very vague. They're just not doing it anymore. Like they're not using the opener in that sense. Like I know what the Rays' process and reputation was entering this season, but they just have a rotation now. It's, we've named all of the guys, but it's Eflin, it's Bradley, it's Savali, it's Littell, it's Glass now. Like there are no guys making in terms of the regular cycle of their rotation. There are not guys that are regular openers in the sense that they were in previous years.
Yeah, I just mean like if we're going to look at the whole season sample for starters and be like, oh, they lead, like their rotation is number 1 in baseball. It's like, all right, well, there are some openers in there, but yes, they're currently operating with a full rotation.
Yeah, and I think Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, I think that's how they're operating right now is particularly relevant to how they're going to operate for the rest of this season and potentially in the postseason too. Like I doubt very much that they take this approach and then all of a sudden in the postseason, it's like opener. It might be shorter. It might be shorter leashes or stints for the same guys. In fact, it will be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%. Yeah. So no, this was really just about me because, and again, as a broadcaster, I keep score every day of my life. And so as statistics change, as statistical categories change, and pitches are now thrown into different buckets. There's different buckets being created for different pitches that these data points are falling into. And all these different filters need to be applied because the data is changing. Like I'm just trying to always think progressively, like is there going to be a way that, or is there a line that the industry will ever settle on to determine an individual's role as a opener? Because it's gone anywhere from 1 to 3 innings. That's that's where I was going. Is there a line defined, and could that vary from organization to organization, where there's clubs who are going to say we're all good with employing a 3-inning opener, and then there's other clubs who are going to go, yeah, we don't do that. We have the traditional 5-man, and other teams are already employing 6-man rotations, right? So there's just a variance in usage. And is there going to be a definitive line of performance that, statistically speaking, we can refer to when identifying somebody who performs in the opener role? Is it a 0 to 3 inning, or a third of an inning to a 3-inning role is an opener when he starts the game, blah, 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 blah. That's where I was going.
Yeah. Can I shout out one offensive guy before we move off the Rays?
Taylor Wells?
No.
All right, fine. Fuck you then.
Yandy Diaz, rest in peace, his testicles just got exploded on the field.
Resticles, them testicles.
There are 6 people slashing 300, 400, 500 or better this season in all of Major League Baseball.
That's nuts.
And he is it's Acuna, Freeman, Ohtani, Mookie, Corey Seager, and Yandy Diaz. Just incredible the type of player that he's become, because this will be his second consecutive season and third in the last 4 where he has put up a 400 or better on base percentage. And this would be his career high in terms of slugging, batting average, OPS plus, homers, the whole thing. So I know, there are people on the team who are flashier or who were viewed as more integral pieces of their core long term, but there's been nobody better on the Rays offensively than Yandy. So I think he'll get. He's not going to win the MVP, obviously, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see him down there in the 7th or 8th spot in the AL. Yeah,
you never know.
Does anybody else in baseball cause the elastic in their jersey the fits that Yandy Diaz does? Like, can you guys know who Bobby Estalella is?
Oh, yeah.
I knew you would. Look him up, Jared. You would love that. Look him up. It's great.
Bobby Estalella, Marty Cordova, another one. Yeah.
Just like,
yeah, he's yoked.
Yeah, but Yandy Diaz, I'll never forgive him, dude, ever, for what he did to me in Oakland.
The wild card game.
Oh my God.
You didn't even get to your seat yet?
It was, I legitimately was going to sit down. Whack! Third pitch of the game, whatever it was. Might have been the second pitch. It may have been the first pitch of the game.
I do remember that. It was Oppo, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And I was sitting in the family section of the Rays, down below, like down by I was by all the wives, family, and oh yeah, they were wearing me out.
That's too bad.
Second pitch of the game.
It was unfortunate.
I did see who was it? I don't remember who had the quote, but it was someone on the Tampa Bay Rays that was getting interviewed after one of the games, and he was like, yeah, we just want to bring postseason baseball back to Tampa. And it's like, is that experience unique to other markets? And I don't mean to throw shit, because I'm very, like, I know that Rays fans exist. I know that they're passionate about their baseball team. I still think that it's up and coming. But to sit there and act like the Trop is going to be any rowdier in October than it is during like a spring training game is crazy. Like, it's
Trop is popping.
Yeah. It's just not.
Jared, you saying that they can't blow the top off the Trop? Is that what you're saying?
I told you I'll be at the Trop.
It's a sleepy fan base.
I'll be part of
it's a sleepy fan base.
They need a new ballpark.
So fuck the Rays fans.
Yeah.
That's a stance. That's a stance.
It's okay to be real about what type of fans Florida baseball fans are. I think we've got like 3 decades worth of evidence of their level of intensity and investment and showing up in multiple different locations. It's okay. It's okay. Not everything needs to be the Northeast or Oakland.
Something's
Fair.
happened in that Fenway today.
Yeah, rain, right?
No,
it's a beautiful day here right now.
I've now heard from 2 different people that something's a brewing.
Like what?
At Fenway.
You're the new GM?
Maybe.
That'd be pretty
I don't know that I'd want to do that job. Even if I were smart.
What do you mean? What do you mean, like player related or team related?
Let's just say that all hands are on deck today, and that usually means that something's happening.
Oh,
I don't know what.
They're gonna fight the Yankees? Knife fight?
Not player related.
Well, if AC gets canned, then he'll be very available to come on this podcast for a weekly spot, right?
No. Well, you would think that.
Or maybe name redacted. But
yeah. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think BOH kind of confirmed as much this morning. He was on
I would hope
WEI.
Is Heim Bloom stepping down?
I'm just speculating here, man. You're leaving me no crumbs.
No, I'm just saying.
Manny Ramirez is back.
So you said Heim Bloom stepping down. That's what you
I didn't
The
say
bloom
that.
is off the rose. Wow.
Speaking of Manny, did you see this? Actually, you know what? Let me hit a read real quick because I need to get Dallas's thoughts on this. If you want to fill the trop this postseason, buying tickets to your favorite events, it shouldn't be stressful. Game Time is a fast and easy way to buy tickets to all the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you with killer deals on last-minute tickets for their best price guarantee. You can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for all the fun that you'll have. I actually want to go to the trop. Would any of you guys be interested in that, or just me?
Probably just you.
Okay.
I enjoyed playing there. It was fine, but that's.
I feel like Dallas. Don't you think that they like the trop would kind of like make it a nice experience for us?
Yeah, I could. You know what? Put it like this: if they will let me get in the rating, I'll go.
They will.
Seems
so
reasonable.
we're owed that. I told you I don't know that they'd be interested in having him do it during a playoff game. Like that would be quite the headline. Is if there were a situation where Tyler Glasnow had a Stingray related injury during the postseason, but I beat him in rock paper scissors in 2020, and he owes me that. So, and I said I would go in with him. I think that there's a world where it's very likely we could get in the Ray tank.
Yeah, I just want to float for a couple innings if possible.
Mm-hmm.
What, Jay? Why?
I'll take a seat. I'll just take a regular seat. I'm good.
Yeah, I want to be able to throw, with just one of those cheap little floaties, little blow ups, and I just want to kind of wade around with the Rays, man.
So no one else, just me.
I mean, I'll go. Sure.
All right. Yeah. Fuck yeah, Jay. Let's go.
Yeah. You remember what happened?
I got friends in Tampa.
Anytime.
And what we just completed was what all of the Rays fans kind of do when they're thinking about going to
that's not
games,
fair.
like on a Wednesday.
That's not fair.
Who wants to go? And everybody's just like,
Yeah, it's wait, what? Hold on.
what happened?
Red Sox news just happened.
I think
Wow.
Wow.
We called it.
Wow.
I just said it. Oh, what? No.
Wow.
Jared, the Red Sox are a ship without a rudder. What is going on?
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
My God.
Wow.
Who's calling the shots, Jared?
I'm not gonna
Jared,
lean
let's
into-
hear it. Let's hear it.
So I'll tell you what I know. Now that this is official, that was what I was referring to. I got two different text messages this morning from two different people being like, Sam's here, John Henry's here, Tom Warner's here. Yeah, like, so that doesn't happen unless something like that happens. So I, like, when Dave Dombrowski got fired, I was at Fenway and it was very, very similar. So, like, hearing all that shit that they were there, it's basically like seeing the Grim Reaper. Like, someone's going and it wasn't going to be Cora. So Heim, here's the raw reaction for Heim Bloom being out. And I'm sure we're going to have a deeper discussion tonight on Name Redacted. But for now, Heim's downfall wasn't so much the losing. I think it was more the reputation. It was, and now that it's done, now that he's out officially, I can tell you that there were agents that reached out being like, what's this guy's deal? Like where agents wouldn't want to pick up the phone if they saw his name. It would be a situation where players there and conviction is the word that I keep using with Heim. Like it was, he did not operate with any type of conviction. And when you lose the respect of other executives, like when you are calling a team about a trade and they already know they don't want to pick up because your ask is going to be unreasonable or things like that, you've already lost. So the crux of Heim Bloom's firing is not the fact that the Red Sox finished in last place last year, the fact that they're in last place right now. I think it is simply the fact that once you lose the room, and if the room is the entire baseball world, you can't come back from that. Like if you can't call up a team and they're interested in making a trade with you, or if you call an agent and you want to talk about an extension or signing a free agent, like that you're now detrimental to the team's success. So it's not about, the farm system and, you have all these like young players coming. It's not about that. It's about, you could have this great core, but if you're not able to build around it, like we just mentioned Zach Eflin, right? Like Zach Eflin, I don't want to put it all on one guy, but the Red Sox season looks a lot different if Zach Eflin is here. And I think he was just here last weekend or whatever it was. If the offers were similar and he tells you that, like, hey, I want to go home to Florida, and you know that the offers are similar, the Boston Red Sox are no longer a destination for free agents anymore. Like guys want to like go where there's better tax situations. They want to go home so they can be around their families. Like stuff like that takes priority over, oh man, I want to be a part of the Red Sox Yankees rivalry. The rivalry where they're fighting over last place. Like you're not a destination anymore. So there was no aggressiveness. There was no conviction. It was too passive. It was being too afraid to win every single trade, which prevented you from making big trades. So I don't know, but I mean, I think Jake, you would say like we've been pretty much on this. Like I like everyone would say, oh, you don't have any sources, bro, blah blah blah. Like I was the one that said fucking 2 episodes ago, hey, he's not making it out of November, and everyone's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna believe Jared Carabas. Oh, you're just a grandstanding pervert. No, like that doesn't come from nowhere. I was surprised to have heard it because I thought he was at least going to get the offseason.
I'll tell you this. I don't mean to interrupt you here, but watching that Verdugo conversation unfold the way it did, I was like, I had no idea what that Verdugo conversation was about. No idea.
So now that it's over, I can just tell you shit. The Red Sox had a deal in place with the Astros. Like they were trading Alex Verdugo to the Astros. So like the fact that didn't happen, like there were deals that like I think I slightly referenced it, and I can't go into too much detail on it. I slightly referenced it last night on the baseball hour with Maz. Like there was a deal being talked about where Chris Sale was going to get flipped, and the holdup was over prospects. Like what? Like how you were going to get Chris Sale's contract off the books?
Taken care of.
Yeah, you were going to get that. It doesn't matter what the fuck the prospects are that are coming back. Like it doesn't matter. James Paxton. Like they were talking to the Dodgers about James Paxton, but you didn't like the prospects that were coming back. Fucking cares. He was breaking down. You knew he was breaking down, and then he did. Like he was used. So again, it comes back to conviction. You can't run the Red Sox if you don't have conviction, or no disrespect to Heim. I like Heim as a guy, but you can't run the Red Sox if you don't have balls, conviction, and the respect of your peers. And I'm not saying that he had no respect from anybody, but the stuff that I would hear from agents, especially after the way that the Xander Bogaerts situation was handled, and like other executives that are trying to make trades with the Boston Red Sox, and they're just like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude, really? Like, if that's the general sense, that's the attitude, then you are a detriment to the team moving forward. Like, that's what it is. So we'll see. And I floated Theo Epstein's name 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. It may be a pipe dream, but it's not impossible.
Wasn't he just there?
Like, he was just there. And I think with Theo, it really has, like, it's not a matter of, man, like, I need to come back to Boston to prove something. I have something to prove. Theo has nothing to prove. So I think that he would take the job, but it is going to have to be like the salary is going to be pretty high. There's going to be some Fenway Sports Group. Like, there's going to be like, it's not going to be your prototypical, hey, I'm the general manager. Hey, I'm the chief baseball officer. He's going to be part of that ownership group. Like, he's going to be in. Like, it's like, that's if it happens, which I still put it at a long shot, they're going to have to sweeten the deal to where this is a marriage. This isn't just like a, hey, we'll see how it goes. We'll give you a little runway here. So yeah, I still think Theo's on the table now that David Stearns is with the Mets. But yeah, this is not surprising. Like, if you've been following along, like I've been trying to tell people for, I don't know, when do we start floating the Heims out shit, Jake?
Feels like at least the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I just thought, I think that they handled it the right way. Like, you want it done right around this time, because usually, if not, I don't know how every team handles it, but I know that the Red Sox always have like an end of the year meeting with the media where it's Sam Kennedy, it's Tom Warner, it's Alex Cora, and it's Heim Bloom. Whoever is sitting in those roles, ownership, manager, GM, they'll sit up there and do like this post-mortem, like the season's over press conference. If you know that Heim Bloom's not the guy moving forward, you couldn't have that meeting with Heim Bloom sitting there. So when I say like, oh, I don't think he's making it past November, you're really saying September, because that's a decision that you've already made. And it's just a matter of when do we tell him the news, because you're just going to sit up there and like, no one's going to have questions about the season. Like, it's all going to be about, is Alex Cora safe? Is Heim Bloom safe? And if Heim Bloom's sitting there, how do you answer that question? If the answer, is like, yeah, no, he's not the guy. You're not going to say that while he's fucking sitting up there. Like, you have to address that now. Like, now is the time. And here we are. My phone is fucking blowing up right now. But yeah, I can't say we didn't see it coming. Now the question remains, is it Theo? Like, is it Theo? Is it not? Because if it's not Theo, who the fuck is it? David Stearns is with the Mets. Like, the only way, and I've been saying this all along, the only way you move on from Heim Bloom is if the next guy is a slam dunk.
Bob Gary.
There's only one slam dunk. Like, Brian Sabian is still a name that's been floated around.
Well, now listen to this. What if I throw this at you, Jared? There's somebody in that ownership group, I believe, already, but has a tie to the Oakland Athletics.
Oh, Billy Bean.
Billy and Beantown.
Who's to say? I mean, there would have to be some things happen. Like, I believe there would be a conflict of interest if he were to start to be the general manager of a baseball team while owning another team. I think, but I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know the intricacies of all that.
I think that would be,
who knows? Maybe what?
I think that'd be a disappointing turn of events if I'm a Red Sox fan.
Why?
I mean, how far are we out from Billy Bean's like last great team?
I'm just throwing the name.
No, I understand what you're saying, but if you're really mentioning the name, it's been a long time since Billy Bean constructed a championship caliber
team. And I'm only
19,
mentioning
right?
the name. I'm only mentioning the name because of the initial interest so long ago in Billy Bean joining
no doubt
a long time ago, and part of him acquiring ownership stake in the Oakland Athletics was him not going to Boston.
No, I get it. Joey, just as an aside, part of my point is that he didn't really construct the 2019 team or any recent good athletics team.
Well, he's into soccer.
Right, give that credit to David Forrest.
He's into soccer now. So
that's what I'm saying. I just want to react to what Jared said briefly about the Bloom thing before we move on, because the one thing that you said that stood out to me was passive, and I don't have any of the inside that you're providing. But as a baseball fan and invested person, that's what it always seemed like to me, was that this was a ship that was drifting with the current and that it had no definitive direction. I think that's true both broadly and at some point that your track record is your track record. And this was his 4th season at the helm of the Red Sox. And we're talking about indecision in terms of not only organizational direction, but all the deals not made at the deadline to enrich the prospect system that he was very clear about valuing. And this is how we're going to move forward. Well, then why didn't you go out and cashier those assets? That's certainly one. I know there's a lot of context involving the Mookie Betts trade. A lot of it did not have to do with Bloom himself, but you were the GM that executed that. That has to be part of your resume too. That's an L. The Story contract, the largest deal I believe he's given out under his current administration, has been a bad turn of events for the Red Sox so far in every way possible. And we're coming up on a possibility of 3 of 4 seasons finishing last in your division. And if you want to just look at overall win percentage, they're right dead in the middle of the league during his tenure. 15th, I believe it is, in win percentage in Major League Baseball during the Heim Bloom era. So I just don't like, that's not the Red Sox, right? And we've sort of lost sight of that, I think, during this administration. And I think at some point, he doesn't have any wins. He only has losses on the resume.
No, Jay Hay, and that's what I was just going to say.
Well, I mean, I guess the ALCS
biggest win, but no, his biggest win is getting under the luxury tax with the Mookie Betts move. That's his biggest win, and that
can't be your biggest win, unfortunately.
Right, but that is his biggest win. That's his biggest achievement in that role for that franchise, and it felt like I'll be honest. Initially, it felt like there was some arrogance, and I like he knew something that nobody else did, and that is why he was just shying away from making a move here, shying away from making a move there, and it just wasn't quite right. It wasn't quite right, but it was never quite right, and it never became quite right, not even close to being quite right to make a move, and now here we are.
We'll see what happens, I guess. I'm in a weird spot right now because
they might hire you, and you don't want to say too much. We get it.
I really like Heim as a guy, but I think the way that he was running my favorite baseball team was ruining my life. I really like the guy, but I think, I've talked about this on Name Redacted, where it's like, I've only got so many years of doing this in the tank. I would prefer to have the Red Sox be good and have that fuck you and have that, aggressive spending, aggressive in the free agent and trade market, like just how they were before. It was the Larry Lucchino era where just the angry Italian. He didn't like to lose. He didn't like to lose to the Yankees. He didn't like to lose in the postseason. And when he did, then he was, let's fucking get better. Let's get exceptionally better. Oh, you need a starter? Let's get the best one. Oh, you need a closer? Let's get the best one. That's how the Red Sox used to be run. And I don't know that we'll ever find out the entire blame pie of how much the way the Red Sox were run can be attributed to Heim Bloom, because I think ownership also comes into question, where it's like, the GM can only spend what he's allowed to spend. You need ownership's approval for that. So I don't know. Hopefully it gets better, because we will look back on the Heim Bloom era. Maybe And like I think I made this point a couple weeks ago because I saw this coming, the firing, and I said that next guy or woman, that there's a lot of pressure there because I think some of the players that were drafted and developed under Heim's watch are going to be really good. Like the first name that comes to mind is like Kyle Teal. Like he's already burning through the system. He just got drafted in the first round this year. So you don't want to be in a position where you don't come in guns blazing, building a winner, because if you can't build a winner and then you've got Heim Bloom players coming through the system that end up being studs, it's going to be a total flip-flop. People are going to be like, we should have given Heim a longer leash.
Yep, Heim.
Yeah. So that next person has a lot of pressure on him. Wow. God damn, did not see that coming. I think this all happened in the did this all happen? This all happened in the middle of a game time ad read, by the way. I didn't finish the game time. This is the longest game time ad read of all time. Like we started the game time ad read and didn't finish it. Anyways, forget planning months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. The Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price if you find tickets in the same section and row for less. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Get images of your seat before you buy so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. Buy tickets in a matter of seconds, 2 taps, and you are set. Tickets are sent directly to your phone, so you never have to dig through your email. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code Jared, Jared, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code Jared for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Wow. I mean, wow. What is this? Bob Nightingale's tweeting about Theo. Before the Theo Epstein returning to Boston rumors begin, he loves his current role in the commissioner's office and one day still would like to be a part of an ownership group. And John Henry and Tom Warner are not selling the Red Sox anytime soon. Hey, Bob, he can still be part of the fucking ownership group without them having to sell. Duh. Come on, Bob.
Yeah.
I don't think Theo Epstein has the bankroll to buy the team outright.
No, he sure doesn't.
I don't think anybody.
No, he sure doesn't. I think
that's not going to be just a 1-for-1 transaction there, Jay. That's not a cash. It's not a cash offer from Hunt or from Theo.
Yeah.
Well, that's certainly exciting. I'm glad we were here for that.
Yeah. And if your take is that he was kind of like set up to fail, you're not wrong. Like he was in an impossible situation. Jake, what's your take on this?
I mean, selfishly, I'm almost a little bit excited because I know he was a great guy and everything, but like you said, I just want the Red Sox to go back to the Red Sox and not like I don't want there to need to be like a perfect scenario to make a trade or think we're absolutely ripping someone off to do any sort of deal. Like I'm just excited for maybe a little bit more aggressiveness from the front office moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's so funny seeing how many fans hate Heim, and then now that he's fired, this is pathetic. I can't believe this is a shameful day to be a Red Sox fan.
I mean, you are right now, like you are a ship without a rudder. Like I said, I hate to use that phrase again.
No, that's not true. They don't feel like they don't fire Heim unless they know who the next person is. So I don't think they know that there
when
is
does that
not
get announced? When does that get announced?
Soon. They know that they're not in a position to conduct this long, lengthy search. I think that they know who they want. I think that they've had discussions with that person, and we're going to see, I don't know, within the next few weeks here, who that person is. I don't think that they did not name Heim until like November. They fired Dombrowski in September. They didn't name Heim until November, but Heim was the guy. And my theory that I'm running with is that Theo made a recommendation. He was like, Heim would be great. And then that's his mistake, and he's got to come home to fix his. He feels personally responsible. Theo's going to come home, have a little piece of the ownership group, and bring the Red Sox back to being the Red Sox. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But what a day. What a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay, how do you feel about this being a baseball nerd?
The change?
Yeah. Do you think that this is the right move? Do you think that the Red Sox were heading in a direction? Because, I mean, they went from the dead last farm system to number 5. I don't know. Like, that's why I'm a little bit surprised because
I get it. I don't think it's Boston. You know that. It cannot be only that your farm system has improved to number 5. It's also about fielding a quality on-field product and having confidence that and having the fan base and just the general sport have confidence that you're making the right decisions. If I'm a Red Sox fan, this is a definitively good thing, because I don't think the present direction of the Red Sox was yielding a championship caliber window that was going to be truly meaningful in the next 5 years, even if the prospects pan out, because it's the threshold to compete in that division is so high. And to what both you and Jake said, it didn't seem like Heim was making decisions that put that sort of ceiling as the trajectory. To me, it's a good thing. I would have been exceedingly bored by the current iteration of the Red Sox. And that's above and beyond all the other noise and stuff like that. But just the on-field product, I think, has not been great.
I also, now that I think about it, I don't think that the chance is 0% now that Alex Cora moves into the front office. I don't think that number is 0.
Like as the lead decision maker, or as just part of the brain trust for whoever else is hired?
I think it's going to be because he hasn't done it. Like he'll tell you like, oh, I was a general manager for Puerto Rico for winter ball, and it's like, all right, yeah. But because I think in 2002, Mike Port was the forward-facing general manager of the Boston Red Sox, but it was really Theo Epstein who was calling the shots. And then once they wanted to take off the training wheels, then Theo Epstein was the forward-facing general manager in 2003, and then the rest is history. I think that they could do something like that because they have so many executives with, decision-making power that are already in place. They have Eddie Romero. They have Raquel Ferreira. They have Brian O'Halloran. So they have this 3-headed monster of general managers in a sense. And I know that Alex has a really good relationship with all of them. Actually, I can't speak to his relationship with BOH. I don't know about their relationship at all, but I know he's tight with Eddie and Raquel. So maybe it's something like that where they are his training wheels until he's ready to be the guy. But yeah, we'll see. Anyways, what else you guys want to talk about?
I'd love to see AC in the front office.
I think that is 100% in his future. He went on Heyman, and who else does Heyman's podcast? Fucking, is it Sherman?
No.
I think it's Sherman. AC went on their podcast and he mentioned I don't want to be Tito. I don't want to be one of these managers that's in their 70s. So he said, I'm going to talk to my family. We'll see, because next year is guaranteed. He's under contract next year, guaranteed money. No option. So maybe it's something like that. He doesn't want to be a manager for life. And he said, I don't know if it's TV. I don't know if it's front office, something.
Well, he was good at TV too.
Yeah, he was. He's good at a lot of things. So, anything else you guys got?
I got final thoughts.
All right, I got to hit one more ad before we get to final thoughts. You guys you guys anything else you wanted to hit on? Dallas, Joe?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, let me just tell the good folks at home about Knockaround sunglasses. We're in the heat of summer. You need a pair of great shades that you don't have to baby. Knockaround sunglasses is the go-to for quality polarized shades that won't break the bank. Plus, they just released their first set of teams with their official MLB collection, including Red Sox and Yankees. Battle for last place sunglasses. Don't be the person that's squinting into the sun or worried about getting sand on their overpriced sunglasses. Check out knockaround.com for great looking polarized shades starting at just $28. Use the promo code ROCKET and that'll get you free shipping on your order. Justin Havens, your final thoughts.
Well, firstly, I just want to say that you asking who the other person on the Heyman podcast was is low key one of the funniest lines of the whole season on the podcast. I'm not sure what a John Heyman podcast is providing other than putting people to sleep, I would imagine.
Scoops.
I'm surprised, knowing John Heyman, I'm surprised he's got somebody else on the podcast. He's famous for being alone all the time. All right,
Sure.
couple of things. Bartolo Colon is retiring as a Met,
Wow.
which I found to be both not surprising and also very funny, given that that was like a fraction of the season of his career and at the very end. And it's just like, I went back and looked at it and I was like, well, his best season came with Cleveland, like the Cleveland-Montreal season. His Cy Young season, which we'll get to this offseason, came with Anaheim. And then, he was basically a fucking mascot with the Mets. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to retire as a Met. All right. Well, makes a lot of sense, actually, because I think
He was
that's
a
how
great
people are
Oakland
going to
A.
remember him.
Great Oakland A.
He did
He
have
hit
a
his
really
homer
good
with the
season
Mets.
with the Oakland A's.
He hit the homer with the Mets.
The great thing about Bartolo, particularly at the end, was I've never seen a dude who threw the ball like he didn't give a fuck. Like he was just
Yeah.
I'm
42
throwing
straight strikes.
Well, not only that, but it was the same goddamn pitch every time. It was like, I'm throwing the two-seam fastball and I'm going to throw it 95 times in this game. Good luck.
He
'Cause I'm
threw
gonna
42
dot
straight strikes with the fastball.
Crazy. The other two things I wanted to call out. Last night, three prominent NL Cy Young candidates were on the mound. We talked about the Braves and Strider a little bit. Gallen faltered and Blake Snell dealt. But just to call out a few things with Strider, his current strikeout rate would be the second highest single season strikeout rate in baseball history outside of the 2020 seasons. The only year he would be behind right now is Garrett Cole's 2019. He's going to have the most strikeouts in any season with fewer than 200 innings pitched. Because he's not going to hit 200. That currently rests with Jose Fernandez in 2016. So, it's possible, depending on how many more starts he makes, that we could be talking about 280 strikeouts with 285 strikeouts with Strider this year. Pretty incredible. And then Blake Snell, almost taken for granted at this point, but we're now at a 1.33 ERA over his last 21 starts after 6 scoreless. Last night, the only NL pitchers in the wild card era to have better single season stretches of 21 starts are Jake Arrieta in 2015 and Clayton Kershaw in 2014. That's where we're at with Blake Snell. So I think I would vote for Strider in the NL Cy Young if I had to put it down today, but I don't know what more Blake Snell could do than what he has done. So could be a cool final few weeks for that award too, even though it's not as front and center as the NL MVP. Those are my final thoughts.
Can you imagine if Blake Snell's a 2-time Cy Young winner? He does not get that respect at all. For him to win 2 is wild.
That would be really weird, actually, because you're right. I don't think, when you look back on hey, guys who have won multiple Cy Youngs, that's one that's going to slip through the cracks, I bet, in a lot of trivia. Mostly because he's never received a Cy Young vote outside of the season he won and presumably this season. So he saves his best for one season every 5 years, I guess.
That's what champions do.
He also leads
he's like a
the
cicada.
league in walks and wild pitches. It's just such a funny combination.
He's super nasty.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're swinging at that shit.
Those were my final thoughts.
Thought is, Sandy Alcantara, UCL. right?
Oh, I missed that. What?
No. Yeah.
Did that just break, or do we just miss that?
I don't know if you guys missed it or not.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
I guess I just missed it.
Sprain UCL. Not good.
That
Not
sucks.
good. Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't end up the way that those sometimes end up. But that sucks because he is a really good pitcher, and that could very well help explain maybe some of the issues that Sandy was dealing with.
Bummer.
Just not himself. Not himself. That's all I got.
Joe?
That's all I got, too. I was going to say the same thing.
All right.
But don't count the Marlins out. I still have faith in my Marlins.
Yeah, they're half game out. Why would you count them out? Jake's takes?
Just congrats to Game Time on that 21-minute ad read sandwiched around Jared's reaction to Heim Bloom being fired. That's got to be the highest value we've given to a sponsor all year.
100%. That is.
Go get him, Jake, on the editing. Jake, I'm going to need to know what that weather would be like right now. Give me a peek outside. Let the good folks know what they can expect today in the greater Boston area.
76 degrees, partly cloudy, slow winds, which is nice because Red Sox have been in a rain delay like every night for the last week. So nice to get a good day out there.
That's tough. What's my lunar lounging going to look like tonight, Jake? You got anything on our moon tip? Moon me.
It's a great question when we pull up my moon tab.
Oh, yanking moon tabs. I can't wait to be yanking moon tabs.
It's like a waxing gibbous.
Yeah. Let's get waxing, baby. Well, gibbon.
Sam Kennedy just said the U. Epstein not a candidate. So I don't know what the fuck we're doing here.
Well, maybe that makes the Cora thing more likely.
Maybe.
If the real big fish is not in, shout out real big fish.
He said he expects Cora to manage next year.
All right, so the Cora thing's out too. All right. All right. That just leaves me.
Either Jay or Jared.
Combo.
Fuck, it's gonna.
No. You just came.
Mm-mm.
No. You walked right into it.
Mm-mm.
Jared can be that public facing guy, and I'll be the behind the scenes troll person, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sort of.
It's one or the other. You guys are gonna have to fight over it.
Well, I'm not fighting. If he wants the GM job, I bet it goes to him.
Jared said himself, if you want to be the GM for the Red Sox, you gotta have balls. So let's go.
So I have to fight the podcast host to demonstrate to the Fenway Sports Group that I'm the man for the job.
They need a guy with balls. Make a tweet. Call. Knock on the door. Go to Fenway.
Hello.
All right.
I mean, anyone. You got a resume? Send it to the Red Sox. They need someone.
Mm-hmm. All right.
My nephew might need an internship. I
gotta go address all this stuff. All right. Enjoy your weekend of baseball, and we'll be back on Monday.
Cheer up, buddy.
I'm fine.